one person can affect so many different people's lives.
We're all lucky to have a supervisor like Don Knabe.
Very loving, and he's funny.
It's kind of infectious.
There aren't a lot of people in the Hall of Administration you want to just hang around.
Yeah, he's a miserable golfer.
It was fun to work with Don.
Took a swing at the ball, lost the head of the club, and I think broke his foot.
Don distracted me from my tee shot. He put a phony ball on the tee, which when you hit it, just blows up.
He's remarkably nonpartisan.
He doesn't create walls. He really creates these bridges.
He is the example. He is the template.
If we had more politicians that cared as much as he does, the world would be a lot better of a place.
Well, County of Los Angeles is the biggest county in the United States. It deals with just about every problem that we have in society, crosses a supervisor's desk every day.
When I left the Army, went into the private sector, spent many, many years there. During the housing bubble, when it happened, unemployment rates going up, so I got caught inside of that, and finding employment was extremely challenging.
We had several small businesses that did not have the wherewithal to hire people.
The roadblock for us was, how do we get 20 people at a time and train them and have the money to do that?
I was unemployed for approximately 5.5 years. I ended up losing my house. I discovered that I had PTSD.
After the first month, we saw our revenue starting to go down. And so we're contemplating going out of business.
Do I go to the homeless shelter, or do I do something else?
My accident happened in Newport Beach. I dove into the surf and broke my neck and became paralyzed instantly.
Rancho Los Amigos is the most noteworthy rehabilitation hospital in the entire United States.
Today is the last minute with regard to the decision of closure.
It was a pretty big battle. I mean, we were in a budget problem.
It saved my life countless times.
I could do anything now because of Rancho.
They're keeping me alive.
We're closing Rancho.
Sitting there looking at the wall and saying, okay, my life is over.
We had to eliminate Rancho.
Just go ahead and move to close.
I was trafficked from 11 all the way up to almost 21 years old.
The only thing I knew about sex trafficking is that it happened to other kids in other countries.
It was a full-on struggle because nobody wanted to take the time to understand that human trafficking is big in Los Angeles County.
You know, you hear about prostitution, but you're thinking adults. You're not thinking about 10-year-old children.
When I had been trafficked, I didn't feel like that there were people out there listening and people willing to help.
How did we not know this was happening to children when kids were in need of our services and support?
Nobody would hear me, where I didn't feel like I was valuable enough.
A disturbing discovery, a newborn dead in a trash can.
LA County, it's the greatest number of children that we see that are found thrown away and discarded. We have buried 110 children in the last 20 years.
You could see a memorial out here outside of Pizza King, and then people left candles and stuffed teddy bears.
I go to the coroner's office and I receive those little children that are found thrown away. Each one of those children take a little piece of my heart.
When there's not support, especially at the highest level, things just don't happen.
Abused children, neglected children, mentally ill are not Democrat or Republican issues. They are human issues.
Don will go right down to the personal level and care about somebody.
Don is a problem solver.
And he does it with enormous empathy and caring.
You can't print enough money to get us out of this situation. It's all about jobs, jobs, jobs.
The 10,000 Jobs program provided funding that was to be allocated to employers to hire individuals that were probably the most challenging to bring back into the workforce.
Don was the advocate for the 10,000 Jobs program.
Hey, Walter, there's this 10,000 Jobs program that you're eligible for. I didn't believe it.
This was the first job that said, yes, come in.
I was able to hire 20 people.
And they're really designed not to be a handout. It's to give you a direction, a hope.
It really fundamentally saved our company.
I'm completely independent now. I don't need support from outside agencies.
It was a miracle.
I disagree with the recommendation of the department to close Rancho.
He wouldn't take no for an answer. He wouldn't take defeat.
I still think there is a value in keeping it going.
Don single-handedly, because the vote at one point was 4 supervisors against him. He fought and won.
That was a turning point in my life. Pretty awesome feeling of me able to just put on a shirt.
Now you have a hospital that expanded its mission, treating veterans.
You can visit the Rancho campus now and can see a transformation is taking place physically.
Building a $500 million state-of-the-art facility.
Which would not be here today but for Don's commitment to that institution.
Many of us think that it all happens in third world countries when it's right here in the United States of America.
Supervisor Knabe allowed me to have a voice. You got something to say, and we're gonna have people listen.
To really make sure that people understood that this is happening right in our backyard.
Supervisor Knabe actually saw that and was like, no, these are children. They can't be prostitutes.
He stepped out there in front, became a local, a state, and a national leader on this issue.
Provide wraparound services for young women who have been caught in the web, giving them counseling, getting them out of the clutches.
That we're no longer arresting children for prostitution.
And I don't believe that it would have been possible without him.
I felt that Supervisor Knabe really heard the children and he didn't want any other children to be part of the Garden of Angels.
Don created this program where they could give those babies to a fire station. No questions asked, just don't abandon the baby.
The County of LA called my wife and said, hey, we got this baby.
She was just this little teeny peanut. I held her and she was instantly my daughter.
I still call her Peanut.
Adriana is 7. She comes home with all these awards because she's blowing through math.
I did all of it on a 1 minute.
Do you count on your fingers?
Nope.
146 human beings are alive today because Don Knabe conceived of the Safe Surrender program.
I think Don's celebration is that he speaks life.
Don doesn't think about this as a legacy.
And he doesn't care about taking credit for it.
That's the beauty of it.
I've never met Supervisor Knabe before, but being able to go through the program and demonstrate what you can do helped me change my entire life to where I get to help people now.
I started believing more in myself. I'm married, I drive, I have a job, I volunteer.
Naming me Woman of the Year was just like surreal. I couldn't really believe it, but he could believe it.
So you know why now she's my hero. That's you gotta be strong to do.
It was very difficult to trust men. And he came forward genuinely and said, hey, what's up? I'd like to get to know you. Who are you? Tell me who you are. That's why I'm so moved.
His retirement is going to be a big void for the county government.
The only thing I want to do is just thank him.
Thank you very much, Don, for the opportunity that you have given me.
I thank you for that. You inspired me.
I'm just so happy that you helped rebuild our lives.
I love him to death.
An enormous thank you.
And he just has become Grandpa Knabe.
If it wasn't for this program, I wouldn't have Adriana. So, and that just, I just can't deal with that.
Love you, Grandpa Knabe.